Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Another night with Ping. How are you all? I hope you're all having a great Monday. Candy Williams says, "Where is everybody?" I have no idea. The show's been scheduled for a couple of hours. I don't know. We'll keep going anyway. Maybe they'll turn up as the show goes live. But breaking news in like the last 45 minutes or something, there's been a giant house explosion in Arlington, Virginia. So we're going to go to that straight away and cover that because that is like the big story going on right now. I wish they had a live stream from the scene, but it doesn't look like they do. Hold on, let me get this loaded up. Yeah. You guys can see if you haven't seen this already, it's pretty impressive. Let's see. Oh, this thing was massive. Look at this. It's like a normal neighborhood and then kaboom. Residents say they can smell a acrid smell in the air, and they were currently serving some sort of search warrant or a custody warrant, and it all went wrong. Reports of a man firing a flare gun inside the home before the explosion went off. And it's monstrous. I don't even know what would cause it. It doesn't even look like a gas leak. It looks like a chemical explosion of some sort. I mean, it could be gas, but it sort of reminds me of one of those chemical ones that go off. Um, yeah, it's pretty brutal. I'm gonna try find a better source for it. Hold on, one that we can see a better shot. Where are we? Yeah, you guys can see like that's sort of what it looked like before, or just as it exploded. I mean, it's a pretty nice neighborhood, and it's basically blown it all up. Look at that. You can see just how maybe the houses nearby, I hope they're okay. Like the neighbors. Obliterated is the word I would use. It's just probably gonna be nothing left of that place. You guys can see how bad it was. Yeah, it says here, looked like a scene out of an action movie when a house in Washington, D.C., suburb of Arlington, Virginia, exploded into flames Monday night during a standoff. Police said a person inside the duplex was firing gunshots at officers, including SWAT armored vehicle, as they tried to get into the home about 4:45 p.m. Subsequently, an explosion occurred at the residence, and officers continued to investigate the circumstances of the explosion. It says here the blast left the house in the city's Bluemont neighborhood in flames. Emergency crews are trying to put out the fire while area residents have been evacuated or told to shelter in place. That's pretty crazy. Says police tweeted out just after 8 p.m. that they were headed to North Burlington Street, attempting to execute a search warrant. They said a suspect had been discharging a flare gun from his residence, and the request for shelter in place began. By around 8:30, people began reporting having heard a loud explosion in the area. Authorities said the suspect discharged several rounds inside the home before the blast. Wow. Well, hopefully we find out what exactly caused that. Because I don't know if a flare gun would be able to cause something like this. Hey, everyone finally figured out that we're on. Yeah, let's see it again. I want to watch it again. It was pretty impressive. Let's see if we can watch it. Here. Turn that place into kindling. And the obligatory car alarm's going off. The neighbors are like, what the hell? What the F was that? But yeah, not too much more news surrounding it. Uh, if I look here. If I look at the latest, yeah, not really seeing much else. Just that there's, yeah, everyone's replaying the video. Someone on Twitter says, "Explosion disrupted my final semester seminar class tonight at Virginia Tech Research Center." They said they took some photos from the 6th floor. Yeah, there's like a big smoke thing that you can see here, like a smoke trail coming from the neighborhood. So it must have been near some of the schooling in the area. I think he has another one. Oh, that's a bit blurry, buddy. Need a better phone, sir or ma'am. Need no more potato. You need a real phone. Yeah. So you can see there's a lot of updates, but Raw Alerts is on, talking about it too. Yeah, not a ton of new information, I guess. Is that a new,
Yeah, the house has exploded, I believe.
Dispatch is direct.
Command, if you're not direct, I'm switching off of Baker for just a moment. We've had an explosion at the target address at 844 Burlington. Yet, stop just prior to Burlington. We're going to have multiple burn patients. Bring your EMS crew up.
multiple burn patients? That's not a good thing.
Direct. Correct.
So that was just some scanner traffic of the incident. I don't think we have anything else. Just the bystander video. That seems to be the only one. Maybe more will leak out as we go through the night, but for now, there doesn't seem to be much more. What? So I don't know. Someone's doing some background information on whoever lived at that property. Can't confirm any of that. Oh, they're there. They're there now. There are firefighters on the ladder putting out the blaze. They'll be there for a while, I think. All right, let me say hello to everyone. Let me switch back out to this one. And let me say hello to everyone in the chat since people turned up now. Candy Williams was the first here. Candy Williams gets a medal. Moonlight View, Diane Marie, Nana Lana, DJ is here. Hey DJ, thanks for your email earlier. Candy Williams, Cheryl Huffman. Hey Cheryl Huffman. Marlene Clausen, Sienna, Robin Lane, iCharm69. Hey iCharm, good to see you again. Who's a girl? Yep, another Maria is here too. Laurie Go Cowboys. I hope your Cowboys are doing well. I think they play next week, right, against the Eagles. Marilyn Landis. Woos is here. Hey, Woos. I had a bit of a tummy bug. Sorry to hear that, Woos. Diamond Heart is here. Two Broke. Just trying to see if there's anyone else that I've missed. Beth B's here. Hey, darling. How are you? Good to see you. Catatonic made it. Hey, Catatonic. And Emma Roth and Kathy Lynch. Oh, she wants a recap. Shad Hunter's also here. And Moonlight View. Please recap. There was a explosion in Arlington, Virginia. The recap's not a great deal. It's basically the officers were trying to execute a search warrant at the address when the suspect allegedly fired multiple rounds inside the home of the 800 block of North Burlington Street in Arlington. And apparently, video captured police presence around the home that suddenly burst into flames. So not a lot. We heard some scanner audio that said that they were expecting multiple burn patients to be transported to hospital. So we might hear more about that at some point. And yeah, just some big house went kaboom. Not a ton of new information coming out, although we do see some firefighters tending to the house. Oh, there is an update here from the ATF in Washington. Special Agent Certified Fire Investigation investigators are on the scene assisting Arlington FDPD during this fire investigation. So they've sent out the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Man, I really hate when those tobaccos blow up. It's terrible. I'm trying to see if there's another video, like another angle, like a CCTV or something. It may have happened too quickly where it'll probably take a couple of hours for more video angles to come out for us to have a look at. That one's pretty close though. It looked like it was about what, three houses up, something like that. For people who haven't seen it, we'll play it one more time while I have a search for information. Oh, that's the start of it. That's pretty bonkers. I wish I knew who the source for this was, so I could give them their, their flowers, as they say, but I don't have a source for it. I don't know if this is the original person, but it's Connor Maj on Twitter. I don't know if that's the original source. There's a whole bunch of people who have retweeted or reposted it from other sources. It said here, yeah, there's just this. They're tending to the structure fire. That's all they're saying right now. Let's see if you guys have heard anything. Marilyn Landis said her daughter lived there years ago. Oh, okay. Hey, Juicy Jules, how are you? Laurie Go Cowboys says, reminds me of that creep, Josh. Blew up his house with his boys inside. I remember that from a few years ago. All right. If I hear anything else about the explosion, we'll cut to it. But right now, I think even our friend Steve Luckner's probably grasping at straws to keep the stream going. I know he's on talking about it too. So why don't we switch to a different subject, and then if I see anything else pop up on the Twitter, we will we'll jump to it at some point during the stream. This is one of the other big stories today. We will get to some true crime. Unless sharks can commit murder, can they? I don't know. It says here, Boston newlywed 44 is mauled to death by a shark while paddleboarding at Sandals, Bahamas resort with male relative one day after her wedding. How awful. I mean, I hate those stories where like someone has just had their wedding or whatever and they die. It's really awful. Hey everyone, how's it going? Coming to you live from a sunny Melbourne today. Very sunny and very warm again. Very warm down here. Yeah, it's really awful when you hear these stories of people dying close to their wedding day. It's like that was supposed to be the start of their new life together and they're not going to get it. It says here the victim, who was not identified, was attacked less than a mile off the western end of New Providence Island. She was paddleboarding with a male relative who was not injured. The woman visiting the resort, who posted the photos from the scene afterwards, told dailymail.com that her fellow vacationers could hear the woman's screams. That would be chilling. It says here the unidentified 44-year-old was killed at 11:15 a.m. local time Monday while 3/4 of a mile off the coast of the 5-star Sandals Royal Bahamian resort with an unidentified male relative. Her paddleboard was pictured floating in the water afterwards. The victim suffered horrific injuries to the right side of her body, and attempts to revive her with CPR were unsuccessful. She had only gotten married the day before the horror. That's really horrible. It really is. I'm just trying to see if there's another source for this, but I don't think so. If I can pause that, yep. We do have a local media video we can watch a bit of here.
44-year-old woman from Boston vacationing in the Bahamas. Witnesses on the scene tell local media she had just gotten married yesterday and was with family when the attack happened.
A female visitor from Boston, Massachusetts, USA, was subsequently attacked by a shark.
Authorities say the Boston woman was killed by a shark behind a Sandals resort. The scene after that attack showing the efforts to save her. Police in the Bahamas say the woman was paddleboarding with a male relative about 3/4 of a mile offshore when she was attacked. A lifeguard rushed out to try to save her.
A lifeguard on duty who saw what was happening, who observed what was happening, went out in a rescue boat, retrieved the victim along with the male relative, and brought them to safety. CPR was administered to the victim, However, she suffered serious injuries.
The woman suffered injuries to her right side, including serious injuries to her hip and upper limb. Rescue crews say she died on the scene. Sandals Resorts issued a statement saying, "We are deeply saddened by the tragic passing of a guest while on a paddleboarding activity nearly a mile from the shore. We wish to express our heartfelt condolences to the guest's family and loved ones. We remain in close contact with them and are providing all support possible during this difficult time." The woman's name has not yet been released.
That was courtesy of WCVB5 ABC Local News. And I will leave a link somewhere, so if you'd like to watch the video again, you can give them a click. I don't know why we help out a big media channel, but sure, we can do that. And yeah, how horrible. I feel terrible for her family. I mean, I'm guessing it was some sort of like destination wedding, and they were having, a nice kind of tropical kind of wedding and hanging out in the nice hot weather, and to have your life end in that way seems very cruel. Cruel in a fate kind of way. It really does. Let me see what you guys have to say about this. Hey Nancy, good to see you. Cheryl Huffman says, "I do not like the beach. The ocean terrifies me." Well, it's lucky you live where you do then, because you are surrounded by sand and desert. Let's see. Robin Lane says, "I'm so afraid of sharks. Jaws did me in as a child. I think Jaws frightened a lot of people, and there was some study done that said beaches were like so many percent quieter. Like the next 4 years that Jaws was released, they were saying that attendance was down. I find that pretty funny, but a fictional shark scared the hell out of people." Uh, Wu says, "I remember once when we were down the coast and a grey-nurse shark was so close to the rocks, I could have touched it. Man was in the water trying to spearfish him." Ugh. I know of a person who actually died from a grey-nurse shark, and it was because they were trying to spearfish it. They were trying to spearfish the shark, and the shark attacked because it was threatened. It wasn't an aggressive shark, it was just trying to defend itself, and it killed the guy. Nalana says, "I agree, I do not get into the ocean or any other water that I can't see in, only a swimming pool." So, when I was a kid, we had a swimming pool, and it used to have one of those devices that goes along the bottom and sucks up all, like, the algae and that type of stuff when you get a pool, helps clean it. And I always used to get really freaked out at it because it had a very thin rubber layer, and I was always thinking it was like a stingray, and that I was gonna step on it and it was gonna get me. And, I don't know why I had this irrational fear of the pool cleaner for a long time. It was a weird looking thing. It was sort of, spiky shaped, and it had a big hose that came out and made a weird, like, noise as it cleaned the pool. But, yeah, one of those weird things when you're a kid. Robin Lane says, "Oh my god, a nurse shark." Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll find the story one time and show you. Diane says, "I love the ocean, but I also respect its power." I mean, when you step foot in the ocean, you are in their playground, not yours. They are the king of the ocean, not you. So, hey, Share Bear, how are you? No, no, green nurse sharks are very placid. They don't really they're more timid and scared of humans normally. But I guess like anything, if you try and attack it, it will defend itself. Candy Williams says, "I almost got sucked into a drain in a lake. Had to use my fingernails to pull myself up through the algae to the shore." That's terrifying. Was it one of those man-made, like, kind of things where it has a drain hole in it? I've seen a few people get stuck in those. There was a story about a guy. He really liked whirlpools, and he went to go visit some whirlpool, and the whirlpool actually dragged him down and kept him underneath the water and drowned him. Guys, give me 1 second. Sorry, the cats were making noises. Let's see. Marlon Clausen says, I like walking the shore and collecting the shells and just looking at the ocean. I think that's very therapeutic and keeps people, you know, in a good frame of mind. Peekaboo Cockatiel says, I swam with rays and sharks. It was incredible. Peekaboo, is that your new display picture? You look fantastic. I like your eye patch. It's very pretty. What is the picture on it? You'll have to let me know. Marlon Clausen, yeah, let's see. All right, we did that one. Yes. Yes. All right. Hey, Sherry runs late. How are you? Good to have you. Okay, let's move on to some actual true crime. How's that sound? We got through our breaking news and now we can do true crime. All right, sorry. Muff is like right behind me and he's pawing my back. All right, this is a story we didn't get to cover the other day, so we will do so now. Baby Zeke found dead, father Jeremy Best taken into custody. I don't know if any of you were following this particular one, but Muffin, stop. He wants me to stop my show and feed him, apparently, I think. Yeah, I've followed this a little bit, but not a ton. Someone else sent this to me. It says Zeke Gregory Best, the 10-month-old son of Jeremy Best, was found by hunters Saturday morning. He was dead. His father is accused of killing his pregnant wife and kidnapping Zeke. Jeremy Best is now in custody according to a news release from Bonneville County Sheriff's Office. Bonneville County Sheriff's Office received a call from a group of hunters about 9:15 a.m. on Saturday. According to the news release, the caller stated they had found a man in a sleeping bag on the side of the road. The caller stated that the man was naked and making odd statements. Bonneville County Sheriffs responded to the area, which was on Kepps Crossing Road near the Dan Creek Road, east of Idaho Falls. After making contact with the hunters, deputies identified the man as Jeremy Albert Best. Best was secured and placed in a parole car until Idaho Falls ambulance personnel arrived to treat him for any injuries. The black Chevy SUV Best had been driving around was found nearby. Deputies also located Zeke Best, who was dead. It is unclear if Zeke's body was in the SUV or not. A cause of death for Zeke hasn't been determined, Bonneville County Coroner Rick Taylor told EastIdahoNews.com. His body will be taken to Boise for a forensic autopsy before a decision can be made. It is a tragic turn in the story that first came to light on Thursday when Bess walked into a Swan Valley General Store completely nude. Video of the incident sent to EastIdahoNews.com shows a fully naked Best slouching on the store's counter next to the cash register and grabbing a cigarette before he is escorted outside of the building by several people. Bonneville County Sheriff's deputies responded to the incident. Best was evaluated by EMS on the scene and taken to Eastern Idaho Regional Medical Center by ambulance. A deputy followed the ambulance, and Bess was turned over to hospital staff for further medical and mental health concerns. There's a photo of his wife and the baby. It's horrible that he has harmed them, possibly, allegedly. It says here it's unclear what happened at the hospital. Bess was discharged on Thursday afternoon. Around 11:40 p.m., the Teton County Sheriff's Office received a 911 call from the Best home. According to a news release from the Sheriff's Office, the dispatcher heard arguing on the line and sent deputies to the home. When they arrived, Best's wife and Zeke's mother, Callie Jean Randall, was found dead. Best, police say, took Zeke and went on the run after killing Randall. An Amber Alert was issued just before for Zeke at about 4 a.m. on Friday. Law enforcement across the state had been looking for him and Best ever since. After a medical clearance, Best was taken to Bonneville County Jail and booked for the outstanding homicide warrant out of Teton County. He will remain there until his arraignment. The sheriff's office said, "Our thoughts are with the family of the victims involved in this case." How terrible. That's a young woman and her baby, now no longer on this planet due to who knows why and what the father's actions. I hope for some reason that he didn't actually kill the baby. Maybe the baby died from um, exposure or something like that, being out in the woods, but that might be wishful thinking. Let me just see if I can find another bit of info about this for you. From KSL News, let's have a look. Just says here, his father, Jeremy Best, is accused of killing his pregnant wife and kidnapping Zeke, but nothing about the condition of the baby and what they thought when they found him. No, that's all, unfortunately. So we'll keep an eye on that one. It sounds sort of like mental health related, but I don't know for sure whether that contributed to the killings or he just wanted to kill him. It's hard to know. Yeah, she was pregnant. I know how awful. They're about to have another baby, so it's 3 lives really that are missing from this world, unfortunately. I mean, it's horrible. Every day we see more and more stories that we read out on this channel about women dying, kids dying, homeless people dying. It's the most vulnerable people in our society that constantly are attacked. It's really horrible. I'll keep an eye on that. If we get a update about Zeke and unfortunately how he died, I will let you know. I just want to check our explosion and see if we've got anything different for you. Let me check our friends at Raw Alerts. What? They're saying that the suspect attempted to fire a flare gun at police while they were serving the warrant, causing a massive explosion. I'm not sure how the the flare gun caused the house to blow up. I'm not an expert in flare guns, but I don't really know. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Yeah, someone else in the comments here is like, I'm pretty sure that isn't how flare guns work. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's how they work either. I don't think they go kaboom and then kabang. I don't think that's how they work. I think they just light up once you trigger them. Let me see any latest information on it. Oh, apparently Marina Maracco from Fox 5 DC interviewed the guy who filmed the video of the explosion. I wonder if we can play that quickly.
They ended up driving the
Yeah.
truck, and they were going to try to come out. We don't want to hurt you. And then they ended up driving the SWAT truck through the front door with like a pile driving arm. And at that point, he started firing a weapon back. I mean, I believe it was like an AR. It was a high caliber weapon. It's not a flare. They shot flares at the beginning. He was not shooting flares near the end. They started returning fire with non-lethal weapon, with a non-lethal. They kept saying non-lethal. They're shooting a shotgun back into the windows, blasting out the windows a little bit, and then at that point they reversed the truck back. They kept trying to yell to him. He sounded like he was trying to say something back, but they were like, "Look, we can't hear you. You know, please come out. Please come out. We won't get hurt." And at that point, they reversed back and they like changed the angle of the truck, and they were going to try to take out the window, the front window there, tell them to back up from the window. And at that point, they were driving forward to the window, and that's when the whole place went up. I mean, just absolutely. I mean, you saw the video. It was
That was from Fox 5 DC and their reporter Marina Maraco. So she might have a even longer interview of that coming up sometime in a minute. Let me just check something. Hold on. Right. No, I was seeing if she had a longer one on the website, but it doesn't seem so. Moonlight View says maybe a spark in a gas field. Yeah, maybe he turned the stove on or something. I don't know, but yeah, maybe he turned the heater on or the boiler or something without turning the flame on. Could have been like, what do you guys call that stuff over there? Like propane? Could have been propane as well. Hey, what are you doing? What do you know about the explosion? You want to tell us? You don't know anything? Well, then don't interrupt then. It's not your show. All right. Let's see what else we have. Hey, Brenda Cress, how are you? Marilyn Lander said a space heater could have been like one of those ones that plug into the wall. Maybe he disconnected it and then it went kaboom. Something like that. What are you purring about? You're just stealing all the attention, you know that, right? Yeah, trying to look cute? Alright. Alright, let's go to our next story for the night. Apparently the kangaroo was rescued. I can't remember who told me, but someone sent me an email with a video about the kangaroo. Yep. I think it was a Gambler. If people wanted an update on the kangaroo from Oshawa, I can show you. It says escaped kangaroo punches police officer in the face before Oshawa capture. Oh, he got him good. Got him good. It says the animal is said to be in good health despite a weekend in the wild. It says here a kangaroo that was on the loose in East Toronto since last week was found and captured early Monday and is temporarily being hosted at the Oshawa Zoo as it recovers. Staff Sergeant Chris Boiler said officers on patrol spotted the missing marsupial around 3 a.m. on a rural property in North Oshawa and were able to keep an eye on it for nearly 4 hours. In the meantime, the pair were able to get in touch with the kangaroo's handlers, and on their advice, they actually just grabbed it by the tail. The female kangaroo punched one of the officers in the face during the apprehension. It's something that he and his platoon mates will remember for the rest of their careers. After the kangaroo settled down, the police were able to transport the kangaroo to Oshawa Zoo, where she underwent a medical exam. Videos of the kangaroo running along roads in Oshawa, about 60 kilometers east of Toronto, circulated on social media Friday morning. It says here that she's been okay and they're going to keep her there for a few more days. Apparently, she's quite hungry and they were feeding her a lot of food, but she's raised in captivity and never been in the wild. So she was quite lucky that she didn't run across any predatory animals like coyotes or whatever lives up there, because she would never have seen one before. Even in her like primal instinct, she would never have seen a coyote because she lives in Australia, or her ancestors did. So she would have no idea what something like that would look like. I was just trying to see here. Uh, yeah, the kangaroo was born and raised in captivity. They're saying they think she would have been quite scared because she's used to having humans around helping her and feeding her. I know they said something about predatory animals. I'm just trying to have a quick look. Yeah, they were saying that she was lucky to hunker down and avoid potential predator encounters with coyotes. So, very lucky. Lucky kangaroo. There's a photo of the kangaroo. So, she didn't end up hopping home to Australia. She just hopped around the same place. So, there's your kangaroo update. Yeah, she probably would have no idea. She's like, what's all this snow? And why are these people trying to give me maple syrup? I'm just kidding. All right. Let me get you some real true crime. Some real true crime. There's been a few things in the news today. We had a was it a Lori Vallow update today? Miss Lori Vallow. Let me just check. Someone sent me a Lori Vallow thing earlier. Just trying to find out who it was. Oh, actually, DJ sent me something. We should have a look at it. Since DJ was kind enough to send it in, if I can open it. Let's have a look at this story sent in via DJ. Family of missing Wyoming woman revealed disturbing messages, red flags before she vanished. There's a photo of her. Her name is Katie Ferguson. She was reported missing on November 2nd. Says here, Katie Ferguson's sister said she knows in my heart my sister isn't here after Katie missed her youngest daughter's first birthday on November 27th. Ferguson, a 33-year-old mother of two young girls, hasn't been seen since at least October and was officially reported missing to police in Cody, Wyoming, November 2nd. They said, I think something has happened, whether it was an argument or they didn't agree on something. I don't know if it had been with the kids or whatever. Katie's sister Nicole Ferguson told Fox News Digital during an emotional interview, in my heart, I know she's not alive anymore. I don't need any kind of proof from anybody. If she was here, she would have gotten a hold of one of us. There's just no way she wouldn't have. There's just no way. That's not Katie. Katie doesn't hide out. She's not that type of person. And I'm hoping, if that's the case, that she died instantly and she didn't suffer. As of December 1, Katie's case is being investigated by local and federal law enforcement as a missing persons case, but her family thinks her ex-boyfriend Adam Avils Jr. is involved or knows what happened to her. Avils Jr., I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Aviles, could be that too, is being held in jail on a federal charge of being a felon in possession of ammunition. He pleaded not guilty and his trial has been set for January 24th. His lawyer, David Weiss, didn't immediately return Fox News Digital's request for comment. Nicole has known Avils Jr. since he was a teenager, and she said he always seemed like a good guy and didn't think he would hurt anyone. But Katie and his relationship turned into an ugly, verbally abusive mess before Katie broke it off in May. They both struggled with addiction, but they seemed to be on a positive, clean path. Katie's stepmom, Angela Ferguson, recalled a family trip in 2021 when Katie and Villes Jr. were in a good place. She said it made me feel really good that she seemed to have turned things around and she was in a good spot in her life. She was very attentive to the kids and I just got to know her better. On this vacation, I saw her in a different light and had hoped that everything was going to turn out all right. But something shifted in him shortly before they broke up in May, Nicole told Fox News. I don't know if it was the stress of having a baby with her or the stress of life or what it was, but he was different. He was very controlling, like she wasn't allowed to go and do anything or go anywhere. I would be like, Katie, let's get together. My kids miss you. And she would be like, I can't. Adam doesn't want me to. It says here, unnerving messages. I kept seeing him everywhere. I couldn't stay. Nicole said she was proud her sister ended things with him, but Cody, Wyoming appeared to be unsafe for Katie and her kids, according to Facebook messages Katie sent to her stepmom in May on the way to Alabama. Katie planned on living with her biological mom and the kids in Alabama to avoid him. During the trip to Alabama, Katie seemed panicked and scared in messages to her stepmom, which were shared with Fox News. It says, I don't want to be stranded on the side of the road with two kids. I know that you're probably thinking, well, you should have thought about this and planned it, but Adam kept following us. I kept seeing him everywhere. I couldn't stay in Cody. I'm not asking for a lot. I just need help. So it sounds like she was reaching out for help. before she went missing. Angela said she sent her money and helped her get a hotel room. The message showed Katie's appreciation for the help. She said, "Thank you very much. We didn't know what we were going to do, and we're almost out of gas. We're so exhausted. We just want to get as far away from him as we can because we're tired of looking over our shoulders constantly or scared to take the girls anywhere." During the same message exchange, Katie alleged Avil Jr. was using drugs again. For the next few months, Katie stayed with her mum until they seemed to have a fight or a disagreement, and Katie wanted to move back to Wyoming, according to messages she sent to Angela on September 24. And there's a whole heap of stuff here. This is a photo of her ex-boyfriend. Oh, there we go. That's his booking thing, I think. It says he's 26, white male, 5'10", 175 pounds. And there's his charges: unauthorized use of a vehicle, misdemeanor; possession of a controlled substance, powder crystal; bail $0. Bail $0. His unauthorized use of a vehicle, the misdemeanor, had a bail of 10 grand. It says here, Katie called Avalez Jr. to get them, according to her family and court documents in the federal gun case, which was shocking to her family. Katie stopped talking to Adam after they broke up, Nicole said. That's why it's so weird for me that all of a sudden he was in Alabama. According to Angela believes, knowing how loving Katie is, that Katie wanted the kids to be with their dad. All she wanted was to be a happy family, Angela said. I think sometimes in these relationships you get trapped in wanting to do the right thing and let the kids be with their dad, even though it's not a good relationship. There's her and her sister, Angela and Katie. It says here, Katie vanishes. At some point on the way back to Wyoming, Katie disappeared. She was last seen in Truman, Arkansas around October 5th, according to court documents in Avalez Jr.'s federal criminal case, which noted there was no projectile hole. There was no projectile hole in the passenger side door. Okay. Should there be a projectile hole in the passenger side door? Is that what should happen? It's a bit weird. It says 4 days later, on October 9th, Avalez was pulled over by Texas State Patrol, which was when law enforcement found a projectile hole in the passenger side door, and Katie wasn't in the car. And that says that's according to the indictment. He was pulled over again in Colorado, and he was the only adult in the car. Avalez and the girls returned to Wyoming without any sign of Ferguson. That is very, very spooky and, doesn't seem good. Seems very, very sinister. It says here, when I first found out about my sister missing, I was in shock. I cried for 3 or 4 days, Nicole said. As she rubbed the tears from her eyes, she said, I know in my heart he did something to her. She said she's relying on her family to keep it together and focus on self-care. So it says here, there's troubling signs, blood, bullet holes, and missing front seat. Oh, come on. So now that you got, it's not just a bullet hole, you now have a missing front seat as well. It says here, on November 4, Avalez's 1999 Dodge Durango, which he drove during the cross-country trip, was found in the Oregon Basin area near Cody. Federal investigators executed a search warrant 2 days later and allegedly found dried blood, which was confirmed by a crime lab, and 3 fired projectiles consistent with a .45 caliber round inside the passenger side and 2 stuck in the door. They also said the front seat was missing and a large portion of the truck's trim was removed and stuffed in trash bags in the back seat. This just gets worse and worse. There's a photo of her. Oh, that's Angela. That's Angela there. It says here, the family continues to wait to hear from investigators about potential DNA on clothing and other items investigators found in the truck. Angela said she and her family learned about the evidence in the news. She says, I wish we could have been informed or it could have come out different. I just the thought of her possibly suffering as her life slipped away, and the kids were where they are with her. Wait, and the kids were they are with her, where they are with her. Okay, that's a weird way to word that. Like there are so many things that will just probably we will never know. So that's very sad. I hope we find out where she is and where her body is. There's a lot more, but we're not going to read another 10 pages about Katie, but I hope they find her and get some justice for her. I think that's another photo of her there. It definitely seems suspicious though to have all blood in the car, missing front seat. You know, where are the children? I guess they'd have to be with family, right? Because if he's in jail, where else could they be? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can find out where the kids are. Here. What scares both Angela and Nicole now is how Katie's kids are going to grow up, possibly without a mother and a dad who might be in jail. They're worried about them reading things on the internet about their parents. But those little ones, if Katie is never found as her family fears, will be what carries on her legacy. Doesn't say where they are though. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it in another article. Let's see if we can find out. The kids aged 1 and 4 and are staying with their paternal grandmother at the moment. So they are with her family, not his family. They're with her family right now. I can show you that there. There you go. The girls ages 1 and 4 are with their paternal grandmother. That's weird. Aviles told Cody police that she was not missing, but did not want to have contact with her mother. Okay, well, tell the police where she is and they can confirm that she's alive, and then she can tell them that she doesn't want to speak to her mother. Why are you the mouthpiece on this situation? It's a weird thing to say. Well, there you go. There's the children. It says they're with her family, right? The girls, age 1 and 4, are now staying with their paternal grandmother. Their paternal grandmother. Wouldn't that be her family? Hold on. Or are they on the other side? No, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. Hold on. I can't find it, but did someone in the chat know it, did they? They're with the father's side. That's sad. Yeah, that's what I thought, Tara. It says maternal is mother. Yeah, I know what that means. I know what that means. So that's why I thought they would be on, I thought it would be the missing woman's mum or grandmother. Yeah, mum. I thought they would be with her mum. So I'm just trying to see what you guys are saying about it. All right, hold on. Nanalana says, well, I pray the kids are being taken care of and loved. I'm sure they are. I don't think anyone's hurting the children, at least not right now. Man, Ferguson's sister. Just checking out the Yahoo News version of this. It says here, Adam has not been charged in the disappearance. He was charged in the felony in possession of ammunition. It says Wyoming authorities found in his 99 Dodge Durango dried blood, a loaded Glock magazine, and a projectile hole in the front passenger door. Just trying to see if anything else. Oh, I get you guys now. Sorry. When you read so much friggin' words, things start to get very blurry. And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I thought this word said maternal, and I was like, "Oh yeah, they're with her 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 family." And I was like, "Yeah, they're with her family. What are you guys talking about?" It's not. It's paternal, so it's on his side. Yeah, no, I get you now. Oh, ping. You got to use your brain cells. You can't just read stuff. You got to actually think for once. Yeah, I read it wrong. I thought it was for some reason in my brain, must be my dyslexia. I thought it said maternal, so I thought it was on her side. So, oh well. Let me check. Let me check. I want to just check out the Arlington thing for a second. See if we have a better update for you. They've got a bit of longer of a video with that guy. Someone recorded it from our friends at Fox 5 DC. This was a tweet done by Aaron Fritschner. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Aaron.
I mean, things seemed like they were definitely escalating as the guy inside wasn't responding, and they drove a SWAT truck through the front door. And shots were being fired after that.
SWAT truck
So
through the front door.
seemed to be escalating. It was like, okay, something's actually going to happen at this point. We've been a couple hours at that, till then. And yeah, I mean, it was just a happenstance. They pulled back after breaking through the front door, trying to get in the car.
Yeah, it's a little low. You guys can't hear it? That's weird. That's weird. I can hear it. I know sometimes when we share these videos, they're very what do you call it? Low. They get very low. Unfortunately. Let me see if I can fix it. Let me check if I can fix it for you guys. No, it doesn't want to fix it. Sorry guys, I don't have, what is it, Fox 5 DC. Let me see if I can find the original. Maybe it's on their website for us to have a look at. They do have a video. Maybe it's this one? Oh no, that's just the original. Oh no.
Stunning video out of Arlington, Virginia tonight. A home in the Ballston area leveled in an explosion. The blast happened as police were trying to execute a search warrant at a home where the suspect was shooting a flare gun.
And our Lily Zhang is live on the scene. All of this unfolding in the 800 block of North Burlington Street. Still a very, very active scene behind you, Lily. What do you know so far?
Yeah, guys, right now we're set up on Wilson and George Mason. This is a few blocks away from where that explosion happened. It's about as close as you're going to get, as safely as you can get, and certainly an area that's garnered a lot of attention from people in this community. I'm going to step out of the way real quick so you guys can see what's actually happening behind us. As you can see, lots of police activity, lots of fire trucks out here, stretching a few blocks, again, off of George Wilson Boulevard, or George Mason rather Boulevard here. So as we've learned so far, a lot of the information we've gathered is preliminary. As officers are trying to execute a search warrant, we're told that a suspect shot several rounds inside his home. And we know, again, this was a flare gun that was apparently used. An explosion had occurred. A man we spoke with a little earlier tonight, he says he lives about a half-mile away. That explosion, he says, was so loud and so powerful that he heard it and he felt it from his home. Here's part of our conversation.
I can't imagine when you look at that video that the guy that was inside wasn't killed. And what concerns me, was there anybody, somebody said it was a duplex. Was it a duplex? If there was, did they get the people out of there?
So lots of questions still unanswered tonight. Keep in mind, again, this is all preliminary information that we're getting so far. Back here on the scene, again, pretty busy out here. We did speak with an officer a little bit earlier as people were just kind of waiting around for that information. He says that officers will be here for a while tonight. As far as the circumstances, that is all still under investigation, and we are still waiting for official confirmation on injuries as well as damages. We'll keep you guys posted.
So, Lily, there was I guess they were encouraging people to shelter in place or at least stay closer to their homes. I imagine from where you are, and you talked to Mr. Maines there are a lot of curious onlookers right now watching that scene.
Absolutely. I haven't done an official head count, of course, but several dozen people are just kind of waiting out here tonight. So again, this is about as close as you're going to get, a few blocks away from where this incident occurred. As Mr. Maines was mentioning, a lot of people who live half a mile, quarter mile or so away, they all heard it. Some people felt it as he did. So naturally, they're going to come out here. They are curious as far as what happened. So again, we've spoken with a few people here tonight, several dozen, just kind of standing near where we are right now.
All right, Lily Zhang for us tonight there in the Ballston area. Thank you so much.
There we go. That one was better. Much louder volume.
So how should drivers suspected of marijuana enforcement be tested for it?
What are you doing, Muff? What's wrong? I don't know. He's just purring away. Just stretching. He got bored in that one spot. All right, buddy. We're going to feed you lunch soon. Just hold on. All right. Do we have one more story for tonight? I think we do. I think we had something on one of our cases that we follow. Let me see if I can find it. Nope, that's not it. We had something on an important case, and now I can't find it. Let me see. Where are you? Crazy link. Nope. Thought I had. Oh, I know where it is. Thank you to April Lynn. April Lynn sent this to me. She sent me more information on the Gabby Petito lawsuit. That's it. Now I remember. Here we go. It says here, Brian Laundrie allegedly told his parents Gabby Petito was gone and he needed a lawyer 13 days before she was reported missing. A court filing alleges that the Laundrie's parents and the attorney they hired, Stephen Bertolino, knew Petito was dead, yet shared messages of hope that she'd be found. There's a photo of Gabby and Brian. Says here Brian Laundrie allegedly called his parents nearly 2 weeks before Gabby Petito was reported missing, saying his fiance was gone and that he needed a lawyer according to new court filings. Petito, 22, and Laundrie were on a cross-country trip in the summer of 2021 when she vanished in a case that made headlines across the globe. Laundrie disappeared while he was named a person of interest in the case and was found dead in Florida 1 month after Petito's body was found in a national forest in Wyoming. Officials said he left a note saying he was responsible for her death, which was just absolute rubbish. It was just a fairy tale, all the stuff he said in that note. All this stuff like, I was trying to end her pain and she slipped and fell and got a critical injury. I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe like anything like that happened. Petito's parents, Joseph Petito and Nicole Schmidt, alleged that Laundrie's parents and their attorney knew Petito was dead, but lied to them and the public by issuing messages of hope that she'd be found. In an amended complaint filed November 30 in the Petito lawsuit against Christopher and Roberta Laundrie, lawyer Steve Bertolino, Petito's parents alleged that Brian Laundrie told his parents in a frantic phone call that Gabby was gone and he needed a lawyer on August 29, 2021. That's 13 days before Petito's mother reported her missing on September 11, 2021. It says here in quotes, on August 29, 2021, Christopher Laundrie and Roberta Laundrie spoke with Stephen Bertolino advising him that Gabby Petito was gone and that Brian Laundrie needed a lawyer and sent him a retainer on September 2, 2021. On September 2, 2021, Bertolino allegedly entered into a fee agreement with criminal defense law firm Fleener Peterson LLC in Laramie, Wyoming, to represent Laundrie. He allegedly also contacted other attorneys in Wyoming to represent Brian, including a public defender's office in the same county where Petito's body was ultimately discovered. Those allegations were revealed during depositions of the Laundries in October. Pat Riley, an attorney for the Petito family, said on Monday. In a statement, Bertolino said, "We have no comment to the filed allegations. We will be filing our own answers in the next few days." The complaint further states that on August 30, 2021, Laundrie allegedly sent a text message from Gabby Petito's phone to her mother stating that there was no service in Yosemite Park in an effort to deceive Nicole Schmidt into believing that Gabby Petito was still alive. Laundrie returned to his parents' Florida home in Petito's van on September 1, 2021. The complaint highlights a statement Bertolino released on September 14th on behalf of the Laundrie family, supporting a search for Petito near Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming and expressing hope that she would be reunited with her family. And it says here, for the Laundries and Stephen Bertolino to express their hope that Gabby Petito was located and reunited with her family at a time when they knew she had been murdered by Brian Laundrie was beyond outrageous. The suit said statements from the attorney and the Laundries were intentional or reckless and caused emotional distress to the Petito family, adding their conduct was odious and utterly intolerable in a civilized community. The amended complaint comes after Riley deposed the Laundries and Bertolino in October ahead of May's civil trial. The last bit here says, it was an emotional, gut-wrenching and eye-opening day for Joe and Nicole. They learned exactly what the Laundries and Bertolino knew while Joe and Nicole and the rest of the family were searching for any information on Gabby, but failed to disclose. The level of insensitivity of Mr. Bertolino is shocking but not unexpected, Riley said in a statement on the depositions. Wow. I think we all sort of knew that, or sort of had a gut feeling that they knew more than what they let on. And that's cruel. It's cruel. I mean, to know that she was possibly dead, and the fact that you're just like, oh, hey, we'll just get our son a lawyer and not help anyone else, I mean, you kind of loved her at all. She was like a daughter to you, and the fact that you're just like, yeah, we're happy for her to be just gone and just help our son and don't worry about her or her family. I mean, it shows you the true kind of character of the Laundry family. I really believe that. I mean, you have to be heartless to be just like, oh, just leave their daughter out there, or whatever. We just believe whatever our son tells us. He came home with the van, but no Gabby, and that she's just gone. I mean, uh, cruel is the word. Very cruel. Let's see what you guys have to say. I Hate Morning says it's too bad. Cheryl Huffman says, I believe Brian's parents knew all along what happened. I do too. I Hate Morning says, too bad they didn't take him to take responsibility for your actions. Yeah. Moonlight View says, how unwise of them not to turn him in. They would still have their son. Yeah, he would probably still be alive right now, and he'd probably be going to trial. I Hate Morning says, I've always believed the parents knew, even more so after the mum burnt after reading the letter was made public. Yeah, that letter, that weird letter that she had. I will always protect you, or whatever, that weird poem she had. Yeah, I found some people really found that aside from her murder, that taking her van, it was her property. Some people found that highly offensive. That that was like her property, something she'd earned and worked for and paid for, and that you know, it was almost like a last stab in her back was to take her property too, and her money. Didn't he use her credit card at one point too? He used her card to get cash. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly. Complicit. Yeah, that is the word I was looking for. Two Broke says, I don't even think they cared about their son. Too interested in not to be associated with it. They let him go into the woods. Cruel, nasty people. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I mean, they would have to have known that he would have been on the edge, or maybe they just were like, oh, he's probably gonna, end his own life or whatever, and they're just like, yeah, that's probably the best solution to this because I don't want to see my son in jail for 30 years. Yeah, Flying DJ said yes, he bought gas with a credit card on the way home. Yeah, because he didn't have anything. Wasn't he jobless for most of the time, and that Gabby worked leading up to them leaving on the trip. If I remember correctly, she was the one who had the job, and she funded most of the trip, if I remember. I mean, I'm sure he had some money from his parents, but hello? Yes? You want to lick my hand? Yes? What's wrong? Hi, buddy. You want a pat? Buddy, we can't do this. We gotta do the show. Hmm? We gotta do the show. Hey? Oh, he worked at Publix, yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that. I thought for some reason he didn't have a job at one point. Or did he quit his job or something? Alright. What are you looking for? What you doing? The cat is like, I think it's telling me. He's like, I want my lunch. Dad, where's lunch? Look. Hey, alright. He came down and was like biting my hand under the screen. Alright, buddy. What you doing, Perry boy? Marilyn Landis said like $1,000. Uh-huh. Marilyn Landis says had in-laws like them. That's scary. Hold on. Alright, I just want to test something out. Hold on. Oh, it did. There's a new button on my keyboard that can mute the mic without me having to touch anything. Touch it and turn it. Oh, that's pretty cool. Moonlight View says, "My kitty Daisy bit me awake this morning." Yeah, they get bitey. He's a biter. He likes to bite you to get your attention. Love bites. What time is it? Well, I locked myself out. I locked myself out of my computer. Hold on. There we go. Jeez. Ping, what are you doing? Lock myself out of my own computer. Let's see. All right, let me check one more time on this thing. Arlington explosion. Minor injuries reported after the explosion. I'm not really seeing anything else. Oh, they're saying they reckon they've got a name now of the guy who was in who with the guy in the house that exploded the house. But I don't really see any other new information. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything really that great, guys. All right. Okie dokie. All right, let me check one more source and then we might wrap up for the night. Bit of a quiet night, but it's been one of those days. What? Check this out. 3-month-old boy was mauled to death by family's illegal pet, wolf hybrid. I bet you this is this in Alaska or something? Let's have a look. No? A 3-month-old Alabama boy was fatally mauled on Thursday by his family's pet wolf hybrid. The unidentified infant reportedly died shortly after Shelby County police were called to a Chelsea home regarding the attack. A veterinarian euthanized the wolf hybrid involved in the fatal attack at the scene, according to Shelby County reporter, while Chelsea Mayor Tony Picklesimer, yeah, said there were no restrictions to owning the kind of animal involved in Thursday's fatal mauling. WTVM reported that it is illegal to keep wolf hybrids as pets in Alabama as there are no rabies vaccines for them. According to the news outlet, there are no local ordinances in Chelsea which prohibit the ownership of wolf hybrids. Wait, so is it illegal or is it not illegal? It says here it's illegal to keep wolf hybrids as pets in Alabama. And then it says, according to the news outlet, there are no local ordinances in Chelsea which prohibit the ownership of wolf hybrids. How can it be both the same thing? It says here, per the Shelby County reporter, the infant's death remains under investigation as authorities determine whether other instances of child endangerment had transpired at the property. Wow, that's terrible. A wolf hybrid, is that really they mate these dogs that look similar to this with a real wolf? How does that work? Do you have to catch a wolf first? That would be a pretty hard job, right? You have to get the wolf and then get it to mate with your dog, and then how does that work? Brenda, where is our friend Brenda? Brenda, where are you? Brenda. Where is Brenda? Here. Brenda Kress, we actually spoke about Jeremy Best and baby Zeke earlier. We reported that they had found Jeremy Best and that baby Zeke had been found deceased. They're currently waiting on a autopsy of baby Zeke to determine cause of death. So I think that'll come out in the next few days, I think, unfortunately. All right, hold on 2 seconds. We're back. We're back. No, I mean, like, where do you get the wolf from? Like, I know where you can get like the Malamute or, whatever other kind of dog, but where do you get a wolf from? Like, it's not like you can just go down to your local wolf breeder and be like, I need to borrow your best male or female wolf. I need to have some hybrid wolf babies. So I need to go into the local wolf dealer and get more of them. Like, I don't understand how you can get a wolf just easily. Yeah, but aren't these like pets? That's what I mean. Like, it's not like they just went into the bush and they were like, "Oh, look, there's a dog. It kind of looks like a half wolf, half normal dog. Let me just take this home as a pet." Like, I'm assuming this was some sort of pet. So Moonlight View says, "Here is my wolf story. I was hosing off my deck in the mountains and a wolf hybrid came through the gate. I just thought it was a mutt. Before I knew it, it had had me by the wrist and wouldn't let go. Weird. I hope you're all right from that." Hmm. Gambler says, "My father used to say he thought uh, your collie was part wolf. He was born in the country." Interesting. JDR says some dogs will have sex with anything that looks like a dog. Possibly. Candy Williams says, "Oh my God, Moonlight View, how did you get away from it?" She didn't. She is now a were lady. She's a werewolf lady, and she like sometimes when the moon, is full, she will like get the insatiable bloodlust, and she heads out in her local town and I don't know, kills people or something. Is that true, Moonlight View? You let me know. Because, once you get bitten by a wolf, you're susceptible to becoming a werewolf. Moonlight View says, "My wolf had escaped from a permit holding neighbor. I had the hose on Jet and he wouldn't let go." Jeez. All right. I don't think I have any more stories for tonight, guys. I think we're storied out. I'll check one last time about our Arlington, Virginia thing, but I don't think we have anything else. Just that it exploded. I mean, how much more can you say? I think we'll find out more about the guy. I do see a name, but I can't confirm if that's him or not. And I don't want to um like out someone's name if it's not the real person. It'll probably get confirmed at some point in the next, 6 hours, but yeah, even people are saying they're not sure what this guy's connection is, whether he was the guy in the house or just had some sort of connection to the actual event. But the guy they're looking at had some sort of issues, judging by the information circulating online about him. Who's this? I don't know. Some professor of criminology. Yeah, I don't really have anything else, unfortunately, guys. And I don't think, other than our other than our wolf story, I don't think there's anything really that amazing. Although I still think it's sad the lady who died by the shark a day after her wedding. That's horrible. Just trying to see if we have anything else. Do you guys know Valerie Tindle? Child Killer's health app shows crucial details during teen's murder. Found buried in backyard. Oh yeah, isn't this one we were supposed to speak about the other night and we never did? An accused Indiana child killer left his phone's health app on during the time police believe 17-year-old Valerie Tindle was murdered, according to court documents. Crime Online previously reported police discovered Tindle's body on November 28th in the backyard of a home off Oak Street in Arlington. Arlington again? Police detained and arrested Patrick Scott, 59, on Tuesday in connection with the case. Tindle disappeared on June 7th after leaving to work for a lawn care service owned by Scott. She informed her parents she was headed out to work and then never returned home. Her last known social media activity happened at around 12:57 p.m. that day. Tindle's family didn't hear from her or see her again. Scott initially told police that Tindle didn't work for him on the day in question, but when confronted with evidence, he allegedly changed his story, admitted he saw Tindle on June 7th, but claimed he dropped her off to meet an unknown boy in Homer, Indiana. There's a photo of him. He looks like something out of a TV show. Have you seen this guy? Cole NCIS. It says here, court documents obtained by the docket. That's Amy and her friend. State that Scott deleted numerous phone apps on his phone around the time of Tindle's disappearance. His health app, however, was operating in the background on June 7th and showed significant health activities at approximately 1:37 p.m. Police later found Tindle's car abandoned at a Shelbyville apartment complex. Scott had allegedly been driving the car and told investigators he was simply moving the teen's vehicle for her and that they both left in his lawn care truck. Investigators said the defendant was likely moving the car in an attempt to hide it. Investigators also said Scott and his wife went to the Tindle residence on June 7th following the teen's disappearance in an attempt to support the Tindle family. Yeah, they uploaded the document. Wow, it's horrible. It says on October 23rd, cadaver dogs searched Scott's property. Court documents indicate that 4 dogs picked up the smell of human decomposition at a pond on the property. A dive team with Indiana State Police searched the pond but found no one. A dog handler told investigators that the scent could have been picked up due to a water runoff or a scent from a nearby location. During the search, investigators learned that the wind was coming from the direction of Patrick Scott's other property, located at 2366 North Oak Street, Arlington. On October 12th, investigators performed a flyover on Scott's 2 properties and found ground disturbances in several areas. On November 28th, while searching Scott's property, police found Tindle's body wrapped in a tarp in a large homemade box buried in a large dirt pile with debris. Tillard was it says Tillard, but it's Tindle. Tindle was discovered inside the box. Investigators also found another homemade box in the debris. Inside the box, they found VHS tapes and miscellaneous paperwork. Tindle later, according to documents, told police that he took a belt and put it around her neck following a dispute until she quit moving. He also allegedly admitted to making the box and placing Tindle's body in it, wrapping it in whatever I could find. Their grammar checking and fact checking on this article needs a bit of work because I don't know how Tindle could tell police anything when she's dead. And then up here they got Tindle's name spelt wrong as Tillard. So they need some proof checking before they go to launch the article. I might have to write to Lee Agan and let her know, because this is her article. It says here, Lee Agan. Have to write to her and let her know there's some mistakes in her article. It says here, meanwhile, Valerie's mother, Sheena, told Fox 59 that someone told her they overheard Scott telling the victim that he wanted to take her someplace special on June 7th after a lunch outing in Indianapolis. The same person said that Scott appeared to be a jealous boyfriend and would constantly check Tindle's phone. They also said, we moved away from Indy to get away from violence, and we moved across the street from a predator. She's a really good person, sweet kid, worked hard to get her grades up, and she was going to go to college. She was accepted, and now she'll never have the chance. It says here, Sheriff Alan Rice said the investigation is in its early stages and far from over. This is not the outcome we had hoped for, Rice said. The case is still under investigation to ensure those responsible are successfully prosecuted. Geez. Sorry, my neck's getting caught on my jumper. Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS or the Rush County SO at 765-932-2931. Thanks to Big E for that document. That's his document, I'd say. And Amy, thanks. Thanks for letting us borrow it. I'm just going to say that we're borrowing it. All right, let me see what you guys have to say. Flying DJ says 2024 deposit Wolf Hybrid Pup 95% price $1,500. Is that what they go for? Like that's like an ad you see? That's a lot of money for a dog. Candy Williams says there was that girl Alex Treviso who killed her newborn in a hospital, and I haven't heard of any consequences yet. It might be in like, the wheels of justice turn slowly type mode. Yep, you guys figured it out. Now you know why Moonlight View's name is Moonlight View, because she's constantly looking at the moon while she turns into the werewolf. Hey Shivers girl. How are you? Hey, Danny Mitchell, the chat celebrity. How are you, buddy? Oh, okay. It must be a common thing in certain states then to have these wolf hybrids. That's interesting. Do I have anything else? Did the football finish and everyone's finished? Who won the game? The Jaguars or the other team? We're at just at almost 1.5 hours. Wait, there was an earthquake today? There was an earthquake in North Orange County. That really doesn't help because there's like 50 orange counties in the US. Oh, it's in California, Anaheim. Anaheim had a 3.5 quake. So if you're in Orange County in California, there was a 3.5 magnitude earthquake. We have a few people from California in the chat. Hold on. Hold on, people. Hey, Emily Narb, how are you? OT? What does OT mean? Off topic? 31 to 30. Is it really? They had a tie. No way. That happens so rarely in the NFL. No way. They had a tie for real? I'm going to check it now. Hold on. Oh my god, they're in the fourth quarter. They're in overtime. 4 minutes to go. If they both are at 31-31, someone kicked a field goal instead of getting the touchdown. I don't know. I can't see. It says here. Oh no, they were tied 31-31, went to overtime. No one has scored in overtime with 4 minutes remaining. If no one scores any points in the next 4 minutes, they will end with a tie and then both get that little extra point on their record. They'll be like 9-7-1. Doesn't happen very often in the NFL, but it does happen sometimes. All right, I think we're going to wind up for the night, but I appreciate everyone. Thanks for coming here. I don't know how much longer we're going to be doing these 10 o'clock ones. Once Trish comes back, I won't be here at 10 o'clock anymore. So enjoy them while you can, and then we will be back at some time. We'll have to figure out a new time slot to do our show. But we will. I'll be back tomorrow night, I'm pretty sure, and then I will. I'll see you again soon. I really appreciate everyone being here. Thank you to Moonlight View for moderating. Thank you to everyone in the chat for turning up tonight. And thank you to everyone on the replay crew. I'm sorry we didn't have more information about that explosion, but if you guys want to follow it afterwards, I'm sure Lookner might still be on, or there'll be more information by morning. By morning, there'll be heaps of information about it and who was responsible. So, yeah, until then, I'll see you back here, same place, same time tomorrow night, okay? And then I hope Sean's okay. I haven't seen Sean in a couple of days. I hope Sean's okay. He hasn't been in the chat for a few days. I hope he's doing all right. Maybe just got busy or something. But until then, until next time, see you later, people. Good night.